What's up and welcome to episode 80 of How Not to Summon a Podcast. As always, I'm Shinny Senpai, and this week I'm joined by the two guys who you do not want in a death game, Jim and Grayson.
Hey.
Zach and I'd win.
I just don't think we could trust each other.
I'd win now.
I would trust you completely.
Okay,
Complicit.
There's your first mistake.
I have a goon.
Have you seen me play? I'm better at FPS than the pair you put together.
I'm the swimmer dude.
It's just because he wants somebody to grease him up.
Yeah, it is. He just wants to be wet.
I just
and
want
in
to be in a
something really
sarong.
skimpy.
It's those Speedos.
Slingshot bikini.
And this week we are finishing the thralling animation with episodes 7 to 12 of High Rise Invasion.
Did you just say thralling?
So we'll pick up where we left off, like we always do, with episode 7. We had, if you recall, Yuri was climbing up that ladder to go and get the faceless mask, or the mouthless mask, to save Mayuko. And she was being pursued by the dude with the syringe mask.
Green goo guy.
Green goo guy.
Green goo guy. And so she gets to the roof, she gets to the top of the roof, and she finds the box that has the mouthless mask in it. She takes it out, she goes to place it on her face, and then there's that weird swirling cutscene where all her clothes rip off. And we do the classic animation thing where there's like no nipple or undercarriage or anything like that.
Absolute mannequin mode.
Yeah, we go into mannequin mode. And,
Mannequin.
See, I was going...
Mannequin.
I'm more of the undercarriage.
It's
That
a
took me
mannequin.
by, like, surprise.
So her clothes all rip off, and she is spoken to by the technology within the masks that says that because she's in a perilous situation right now, she's been granted access to a limited amount of powers, but not the full power that a mouthless mask can give.
I like to call this, in software terms, a plot update.
A plot update.
That's all it is. There's
plot
no
date.
reason...
A plot update.
A plot date. There's no reason she shouldn't be granted full powers like everyone else has, except for plot.
Well, it stops her putting the mask on.
Yeah.
Surely, even in this dire situation, the minute she puts a mask... Oh, no, because you have to gain access to the power to control masks, I guess. Eventually, you unlock that ability, don't you?
That's horseshit.
So...
I didn't realise we were 11
So,
up.
I have a
system.
question then about the overall plot.
Yeah.
Everyone that's in this game world thing right now, did they come here at the same time?
No, it
So-
doesn't seem that way because her brother Rika seems to be, or seems to have been there longer.
Then how can you get winners? If you're constantly adding people, surely no one would win.
Is it like a constant search?
That's like playing a battle royale and then adding a new team every 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's
A jailbreak.
You're never going to get a winner. You're just
Yeah.
going to get people on an ongoing cycle of players.
and
constant
plus
jailbreak.
some players get masks put on them and then become angels and not players.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So you're getting a constant update of bad guys, a constant
Yeah.
update of the emotionless masks, and a constant
Yeah.
update of regular players.
yeah.
No one's winning. That's like winning an MMO.
But
It can't be done.
Is it their way of going? Somebody's going to slowly get closer to God eventually. So they're just bringing more people in until that one person gets closer to God.
What, on a pile of bodies?
Yeah.
Well, that's.
But even then,
yeah.
it's not an infinite pile of bodies. There's no finite number if a continuous amount of players is incoming.
So what you're saying is you just got to last until there's so many bodies that you can just walk to the top of the tower.
You can make a helicopter out of bones. That's what you need to do.
But they even say like it could be a good person or a bad person that wins and gets closer to God.
No one's going to
So-
win. If with a constant incoming amount of players, no one can be the winner. There will always be another player.
Well, I guess one of them could eventually become God, and then there's no need for more players. Is that not the final goal of this world?
I guess so, but
The assumption is that somebody gets so close to God that they practically... Why do they call it closer to God? Does that mean God's a person?
looking
Yes,
for a
Or-
replacement.
Yeah, absolutely.
God's in the retirement zone right now.
So eventually you're going to meet this God, and because you're the closest to him, he's going to then give you the throne. You
I'm
inherit
sorry.
that from him
Did they
or her.
borrow the plot from Space Dandy season 2?
We haven't done that yet.
Never will. I love it.
Someone has to.
Don't act like you didn't like Space Dandy. You fucking loved Space Dandy. You play up to it like you fucking don't. Space Dandy was a masterpiece and you fucking know it. Sheeny didn't like it. You're just hopping on the bandwagon.
Don't mind me fishing over here.
It's a small rod.
So one of the powers she's granted early on is that she can basically slow down Matrix style the time around her and effortlessly move out of the way of Syringe Guy.
When does
as
that
he's
stop?
striking. It's when she switches it off, I guess.
That's not something you can switch on and off. Time is persistent.
No,
You
or
could
maybe,
react
do you
quicker.
think maybe it's an adrenaline thing? So only in dire situations does time slow down.
So she's a Spartan 3. Got you.
Oh, I like. Oh, no, I thought you meant like the 300 movie with the like the
No,
slow-mo
I meant,
action scenes
like-
and that.
The Master Chief Spartans, the third generation Spartans, had a thing where their as long as their adrenal glands were pumping, they wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
The moment their adrenaline levels fall, they die. They succumb to their injuries.
So they've taken a little bit of that.
It's not very
Yeah.
good soldiers then. if
They're
it's-
not supposed to be good soldiers. They were disposable Spartans. That's the
For
point of them.
quick bursts.
Yeah, they were for jobs that were necessary but not recoverable from.
cool, like 2-minute noodles.
Well, no, they can keep going, but if they get injured, they just don't stop
Instant
until their
noodles.
adrenaline stops.
What's my job, sir? You're an instant noodle, my friend. You are a 2-minute pot noodle, my friend.
You fetch butter.
You fetch bar.
So Syringe Guy,
Bit of Rick and Morty there. I love it.
Syringe Guy gets knocked off the roof by Yuri because he can't match her now that she can slow down time.
No one should be able to.
I would argue that she moves faster, not time moves slower.
Yeah, that
Maybe,
potentially.
yeah.
No, I would probably agree with that. Actually, yeah, I think that's
Time is
correct,
consistent. Otherwise, everyone in every universe ever would have to slow down just for this
And
one
would- and would-
person.
and that would mean her changing the world around her rather than her own physical ability. So that would make more sense if she got faster rather than affecting the world around her, because the mask can affect your physical ability. So that makes
Yes.
sense. Yeah, so she gets faster. We cut across to Monk Mask, who has saved Rika and his large group that he's accumulated. He's picked people up along the way, and they've now been joined by Monk Mask, who is being controlled by the young lad on the building across from them with his binoculars.
Do you not think it was really strange that they glossed over a lot of that? That he's got a group.
This
I was going to say, there's a story there
Yeah.
with Rika finding people and recruiting people and saving this large group of people and bringing them along with him. And there's a story there in itself that's just
this entire show
shadowed
kind
over.
of the bits that you want to know it doesn't give you, and the bits that you do get, you kind of go, oh, well, that's all right, but I want that.
Yeah. You get glimpses of things where you're like, that would have been a good story.
Yeah, you're
over
giving
there.
me the bone, and I want the meat.
Yeah. We cut then to Lady Mask. I
Pink
call her
hair?
Lady Mask. Is she like a police mask? It looks like she's wearing like some sort of police uniform, the one with the red hair.
I think that's student mask.
Do you mean like a student council? Yeah, but she's also a
Yeah.
mum.
Mum mask.
Mum mask.
So I call her Lady Mask. So we'll go with Lady. Lady. And of course, she is accompanied by Swimmer Mask. And he brings her over, he's attacking some random guy, and she turns around and goes, "Stop doing that. You're only supposed to attack people I tell you to do.
Stop that.
I can't believe you've just done this."
I can't believe you've done this.
And she
Whacks
goes,
him on the head with a newspaper.
Little on the nose tap. Like a bad dog.
and she says her job is to recruit more masks. That's what the job she's been given. And she's like, "But unfortunately for you, I don't have any masks on me at the moment." And then the guy starts begging. She's like, "Beg properly." So he gets down on his hands and knees. And he goes to kiss her feet, and she just stamps on him until he's dead.
Fast and Furious 1.
Yeah, I remember that scene from Fast and
Kiss my
Furious.
boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then gets kicked in the face. Fast and Furious 1. Boring stuff.
Except
from
this guy gets
every genre. This is an
This-
amalgamation of multiple genres.
this guy gets a stiletto in the head.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going
That
to take one
happens
or the
in
other.
Akame ga Kill as well. Ice Queen. She does that, doesn't she?
So we cut back to Yuri, who, once she's defeated Syringe Guy, she places the Mouthless Mask on. And the support program within the mask talks to her a little bit, and it says that her brain has programs in it now, and she's now going to get access to lots of abilities. But however, she must retrieve these on her own, and based on who you are as a person, you're only compatible with certain abilities. So you don't get every single one. You're just compatible with a few.
Horseshit. Horse shit.
You would have thought the closer you got to God, the more abilities you would gain
I would have
access
preferred if they just said, you gain abilities from God at random, and these are all of his powers, and you get one.
to. Yeah.
Or, a handful, and they're selected at random.
Yeah, you could do that. So then you're giving individual
And then-
personalities to those people.
As you defeat more people, you gain their power. You defeat enough people, you get all the powers. You are God.
Or there's one base one, so everyone's allowed to control masks as long as you're compatible with said mask.
Or do
That's
it-
fine, I get that.
What's the compatibility? Some of them Android, some of them iPhone,
Well,
some of them are running fucking Windows Phone.
how do you become compatible with a mask?
The really
Like,
old players, they're blueberries.
Atari. They're Atari players, them ones.
It's just such a bullshit explanation of trying to wimp down people's abilities by saying, if you're not compatible, what does that mean?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
why
What
don't-
is compatibility?
Why don't
Like-
you just do the regular anime thing of, yeah, you can get all of these skills, but you've got to have the will to do it.
Yeah.
If you have a strong enough willpower, you will be able to unlock all these skills.
Yeah.
yeah, you
that
slow-
would have
yeah,
worked better.
yeah,
You
And
know,
then
slowly
they
get
could have
it.
literally given you the whole bullshit of,
And-
yeah, you've unlocked that skill because you've all of a
'Cause you
sudden-
willed it.
You willed it.
you
to
willed
be
it
that.
into
Yeah.
existence like a god.
Yes.
It was what you needed at the time.
Yeah. Horseshit.
Yeah.
Because, like she says, I haven't got the ability to control other masks yet. Well, then you could have had the point where she needed to control a mask, and all of a sudden she willed the
That
existence
kind
of
of
a
did
mask.
happen, though, didn't it? When she needed to control a mask, all of a sudden, you have unlocked the ability to control
Yeah,
mask.
but it
In
just
fact, the
said-
mask
Yeah.
stops her later on and goes, by the way, you're compatible with this one, so
Yeah.
don't kill him.
Is that same brainwave lengths?
I think that's actually what they said.
Maybe because the mask later on is like justice and all this shit. and she's
bicycle
like
justice. I get it.
justice and yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
the mask shatters after it's told her about this. Well, about the programs and stuff and things. It shatters and falls to the floor and is gone forever.
Do you not think these are? They seem like very Microsoft or Windows blooming masks. They have that sort of blooming.
Well, no,
They self-destruct.
Windows is compatible with absolutely fucking everything.
but you get what
I'd
I mean?
say it's more like a Mac where, it'll work as long as it's designed to work with this thing. You've
Yes,
plugged it
yeah.
in. It happens to be 3 p.m. on a Tuesday and the moon is full. Then it might work.
It just reminds me of Alexa. It's like, hey Alexa.
Oh, yeah, when you ask it something and it's like, yes, Alexa, I'd like some toilet paper. Here's the results from the West Ham game. Not what I asked.
I mean, to be fair, that was pretty shit.
After the mask is destroyed, Mayuko calls up Yuri and is like, "Hey Yuri, I'm all good now. I'm out of my sleep phase. I've been woke up after I shut down.
They turned me on and off
She's
again.
fucking Data from Star Trek.
I'm all good. So you don't need to worry."
R.I.P. Isn't Data? No, that's not the
Brent
one.
Steiner is not dead, no.
You know the one I'm on about though. Died this week. Head of NASA, ambassador to NASA.
Yes,
died.
Star Trek and the head of NASA are one and the same.
No, she was an ambassador for NASA.
An
Barbara.
I like that. Ambassador to NASA.
ambassador
She was.
to NASA.
She was in Star Trek.
Oh, I
she
thought-
died this week. She was
She was in
86.
Star Trek.
I don't know.
100% correct on that.
In Star Trek.
Moving on.
I'm telling you.
We cut
hold
to.
that shit.
It's not really that
It
necessary.
is necessary.
It's really
No.
not.
You don't understand. He needs to know.
It might be Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand was not in Star Trek.
She's not dead.
She's not dead yet.
Bring out your dead.
We've got a double Google going on here just to see who tells who what when. It's a Google off.
Ah, Nichelle
Uhuru.
Nichols.
Uhuru.
There we go, see? I was right.
Also,
And was she also the ambassador for NASA?
last week.
It was last week, yeah.
So, like, when this comes out, like 2-3 weeks ago?
2
weeks.
weeks.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Okay. So, we cut to Lady Mask.
R.I.P. Also, the first interracial kiss on television. Just so you know,
There we go.
she was big.
Was it?
not for being in Star Trek, she did have a prominent role for a black woman, which was unheard of at the time, but she was the first interracial kiss on national television.
There you go.
And she kissed Captain James T. Kirk.
Who hasn't kissed Captain James T. Kirk?
There's something on the wing!
So, Lady Mask has decided or been ordered to attack Rika and his group of survivors. So she gathers her team and attacks him. Firstly, with Racket Mask, who, with his tennis racket powers...
Oh, I thought you meant he just made a lot of noise.
Goes in with his tambourine.
Quiet down, Racket Mask.
Comes in with a boombox, but
Oh.
it's nothing you want to hear.
Who invited Racket Mask?
Goldy looking chain.
Nobody wants him here. He uses his tennis abilities to hit a can of tear gas onto the roof that the group are on.
Could have just thrown it. I'm just saying. Could have just thrown it.
Yeah, but then they would have been able to use that sick racket.
Through the smoke, the group are then attacked by Halberd Mask, who has a halberd. And
Funnily enough.
unfortunately for him, though, Rika has some very special goggles that he's pulled out of somewhere. And he's now not affected by the tear gas because of his goggles. And fights back Halberd Mask. The father and child of the group, they're making a quick, swift exit. They've started heading across the rope bridge.
I mean, while the smoke is going.
Yeah, the gas then slowly starts to dissipate into the atmosphere, and Rika at the last minute is saved in his fight by the aristocrat Mask, who has a rapier,
A man after my own heart.
and also teaming up with him is grocery store Mask, guy
Right.
in a grocery store attendant outfit,
He puts people in bags.
body bags.
They cost 10p a time, though.
You haven't bought a bag in a while, have you? Fucking hell, that's
15p now?
Yes.
20p for a
15
Tesco
for-
bag.
There you go.
If you go to Morrison's, 40p for a bag.
What's the point? Bring your own.
Save the planet.
BYOB.
Bring your own body?
Bring your own bag. Bring your own beer. Bring your own bag.
The woman Mask, seeing that, they're up against it, phones her master, and he's like, do what you need to do. We need that Rika boy. And so she sends 3 more masks. There's Psy Mask.
What?
Is he just exasperated all the time?
There's Drill Mask, who's got a drill.
Oh, I thought it meant he worked in a different industry.
Drill Mask. And then finally there's... I wrote this down, I can't read it properly. Is it one plank mask or one flank mask?
Is that the guy from Ed, Ed, and Eddie? Just goes on with plank. I'll fucking get you. Boom. Plank, no.
Rika is injured in the fight, and Swimmer Mask turns up, and firstly he kills Monk Mask, and then he kidnaps Rika and runs off with him. And the episode ends with Yuri getting a phone call that Rika has been taken. How do everybody have each other's numbers all the time?
So I was going to ask, who's the telecoms company in this place?
There's
Do
different.
you phone up an operator? Be
They
like, operator.
They find different phones and ring these new numbers of other phones, and people.
My
seem
best
to-
get would be that the phone book in each phone is plot driven. And
that
that's
seems
kind
that
of
way,
it,
yeah.
really.
Oh, it's Plot Mobile.
It's only
It's
ever
the
got
plot-
one number
yeah.
in it, and that's the one number you need.
Yeah, it's the
every
one
time.
network you want. Plot network.
But it's the one you can never get.
So we go into episode 8. Episode 8. Yuri picks up where we left off. Yuri is now in a rage because of Rika being kidnapped. She panics and she smashes her phone.
Is this where she goes, crushes her phone in her hand and goes all electric Pokemon? Doesn't she? It
She's
goes,
going
green,
fucking Saiyan.
fucking-
Yeah, and she goes. She runs off. Mayuko runs after her, and then they get sort of accosted by Grenade Launcher Mask, who fires grenades out of a grenade launcher.
Out of the mask.
Accosted.
Yes.
There's his word of the week.
There
ladies and gentlemen.
it is. Did that one come up on your calendar today? Or?
But but one of the grenades is blocked by Sniper Mask, who snipes his grenade out of the air. He is joined by Dagger Mask, who
Does he just
blocks
give people really bad looks?
Dagger Mask blocks Sniper Mask's snipe at Grenade Launcher Mask. Are we following?
Yes.
Yuri then manages to join the fight and shoot Grenade Mask when he's not looking. Grenade Guy is now like, he gets shot several times, and Dagger Mask is like, get up, we've got a job to do. So he staggers up and fires randomly multiple grenades in all directions. He just lets loose. It's just not up in the air, straight up. Yuri uses her ability to slow time and takes out every single grenade, one after the other, as they come down.
It's got to be time. Grayson, it has to be that she stops time around her, that she's not fast, because she's shooting bullets.
Yeah. If bullets are moving, if the bullets are traveling at a normal speed, then she controls the entire time of the fucking universe.
Yeah.
She's definitely closer to God with that ability.
Grenade Launcher Mask is then sniped in the head, killed, finished off by Sniper Mask, who has repositioned himself by hanging out of a high-rise window so he can get a clean shot on Grenade Launcher Mask. Dagger Mask calls the boss, and before he can tell the boss what's happened, he is then shot in the head as well by Sniper Mask.
What is the point of bringing a knife to a gunfight?
It's Dagger Mask.
What's the point of having Dagger Mask?
Because he thinks he looks cooler. That's why.
Sick knives.
Yet, Investigator Boy, later on.
I didn't know there was an investigator
Investigator Mask, yeah.
Yeah, he's, like, got tons of knives.
Oh, you're on about Inspector
Yes,
Clouseau Mask
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
And he's ripped. He's shredded.
PC plot.
Zipping Panzer.
He's just after a diamond, that's all.
He had like the full like French inspector.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't he?
Yuri and...
Yeah, until he fucking opened his jacket.
What?
Because he had a full
Ka-chow.
fucking washboard that was already sweaty for some reason.
Greased me up.
Grease me up, woman.
Can't catch me if I'm all greased up.
You slippery devil.
Yuri and Quan meet for the first time. They shake hands and sparks fly, because when two that are closer to God touch, sparks fly. Sniper Mask decides to stay away from the group for now because he's still under the influence that he will attack people, be forced to attack people like Yuri and that, until they gain abilities to stop that. So he stays away. So Quan joins the girls.
That was so annoying. I don't know if you guys felt it, but at that time I was like, just fucking join them.
But he can't, because he's going to get told to attack
Oh,
them.
fuck off. Like, have her have the ability to have that fuck off.
They do fuck it off eventually.
Yeah, eventually, but
But
it's so fucking stupid.
They plot it so that he has to keep the mask on, by the way, but we'll get to that. We will get to that. So, we cut to Rika, who finally gets to meet the boss that is controlling all these masks,
God?
and his name is Mamoru. This is
God.
the character that I said most associates with me, I think.
What, a big dog?
What, Mamoru?
Oh, what's it, Mamadou?
I thought he said Dormammu. I was like, I've come to bargain.
Ivavu.
Mamoru explains to Rika that his plan is that all he wants is world peace.
And I will kill everybody to get
But
to
he
it.
wants world peace through subjugation.
He's going to Thanos route.
So-
Well, no. Thanos still gave free will.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the Red
Mamoru
Sun.
is like,
Unity.
everyone
Red
will
Sun.
be at peace because
Unity.
you will listen to me. And if I tell you that there's going to be world peace, there's world peace.
That's enough talking about Russia at the moment. Let's carry on.
He tells Rika that he is in control. He is in control of 30 masks. However, obviously, he's lost a few during that fight on the roof. So, like, he's down to, like, what, 28 or something like that.
Oh, no.
He still has like a plot amount of masks.
He does have.
Who plucked 30 masks out of the air?
They're like, we need a number. 30? 30 will do.
Yeah, all
That
right.
is a good round number.
How
Control
many
30.
masks can we think up of to add on to the amount of masks
You got Mask.
Oh, the mask.
Masked Rider. That one biker mice from Mars with a mask. Jim Carrey in The
The
Mask.
mask. The mask of Zorro.
The Mark of Zorro.
So
It's not a mask. It's a mark of Zorro.
Hold on, Phantom of the Opera mask.
Phantom of the Opera mask. That's what I like. That's what I like.
Throws an organ at you.
Batman in the mask.
We've got loads of masks.
We've got fucking tons of them. The entire DC universe. They're called masks. Some of the boys.
Oh yeah, you got some of those masks, boys.
Big cock mask.
What's your name? I am Masked Boy. I am Boy Mask. Great.
What's your power? You're looking at it. I'm young.
Youth is my power.
Oh, the Elephant Man mask.
Yeah, but he didn't wear them.
Yeah, he did. To cover his face.
No, he fucking didn't.
That was
Yeah,
just
he
his
should've.
face.
Should have.
Should have. The Hunchback in Notre Dame's mask.
The Hunchback didn't wear a mask.
He did
He wore a coat.
again.
Jester Mask.
A jester,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the guy from
Yeah, Shakespearean mask. Oh, I would have loved that. Everything would have been a brilliant speech.
To Be or Not
Voiced
to
by
Be.
Sir
And
Patrick
what?
Stewart.
He throws skulls at you.
Exactly. That's his superpower. He just throws huge dusty books that no one's read in 100 years.
Stabs you to death with quilling ink.
Oh, the masked guy from the Kingdom of Heaven.
The Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah,
So-
that one.
Jesus
The one that's
Christ.
a leper.
The leper
A
mask.
leper mask.
What's your power? I touch you and you get a disease that'll kill you in a few years.
All of the bad guys from 300.
STD mask.
Oh, you're on about the
STD
immortals.
mask.
The immortal mask.
Cock mask.
Right, anyway.
Why has he got a cock mask?
So it's just got a massive dildo hanging off the mask.
It's a condom with two little googly eyes on it.
So,
Oh no, it's cock mask.
oh yes, it's got.
Oh yeah!
The eyes go round.
It's going
There's
crazy.
only one man who can save us now.
Orgasmo. Orgasmo. There you go. There's a mask.
That's just a hero.
How many
Yeah.
other masks?
He wore a mask. And his sidekick. What
So,
was his sidekick called?
What?
Orgasmo. And
Finisho?
no, it was something boy.
nice.
You shouldn't be having any boys in your Orgasmo.
So it's clear that Mamoru has a god complex, and he hears the helicopter. He goes to the roof. He takes Rika with him, and he talks to Rika about the fact that he wants to get to the biggest tower, the one that is the railgun. It's not a good idea to be on that when that fires off, right? But
What,
Well,
on
no,
the
it's a
rail?
railgun. There's no noise.
oh yeah, I suppose.
It's magnetic, isn't it? Railguns? I
say
don't
Yeah,
know.
but it
There's
looks
no
like the
noise.
tower is the gun. So why would you want to go to the tower?
I mean, it can't shoot itself.
No, but surely you're gonna be in that area.
You say the railgun had no
Effect.
noise. Did they just have some sick sound effects coming from speakers and that? then?
Speakers.
Because that thing went.
It
as
did
it
power
charged
up.
It's got a big build up.
But aren't railguns Mac cannons? Magnetically accelerated?
Yes. They're not like what that says it is.
They don't use any...
Gunpowder.
lasers.
Yeah, they don't use any explosives.
Freaking laser beams.
Freaking laser beams.
So he says he wants to get to the tower, and as you can see, there are no bridges that go to this tower, so the only way to get there is by helicopter.
That tells you
And
you
he
don't
says-
want to be on
He
that
says,
tower.
I've worked that out, but the one thing I haven't worked out is where am I going to land the helicopter? Because there's nowhere to land
on the
tower.
top.
Wait, so this guy has done an entire 360 surveillance of this tower, but he hasn't
sent
won the fucking game?
He sent masks out to look, didn't he? He's got different masks in different quadrants of the map.
How about the floor?
He's mapped the map.
How about the floor?
Mac Mask.
Obviously, is there a boundary to this world? Because there must be.
I don't know.
Yeah, there
We
must
haven't
be.
seen
Yeah,
it.
when the bridges don't move any further, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's it. You cut off.
It's
Yeah,
a
but he
city
says
big.
there's no bridges to that place,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
There's still a floor.
You got to get to the floor.
Yeah, they've got a
Oh,
helicopter.
no, he means they could fly the heli to the floor, the base of the tower.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then just go in and. Well, you got to hope there's a door.
There will be. There were a
Can
reception
you
area.
imagine that
There's a reception
elevator
area.
ride to the top of there?
So long.
Fuck me.
That music.
With the music.
It had, dun, 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 dun.
The helicopter returns and.
That's when you find out you're the projectile. It just fires elevators at people.
It's fucking Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory.
The glass ceiling, baby.
And as the helicopter actually turns up at the roof that Mamoru's on, surprisingly, and the machine gun mask, like, he opens. They actually call him Military Mask. Military Mask opens up the helicopter, and he looks at Mamoru and Rika, and he goes, "Not yet." and then closes the helicopter and leaves.
Not today.
He's like, none of you are close enough to God. Shuts the helicopter and leaves.
The plot hasn't gone on for long enough.
And it turns out he's
The guy looked like from G.I. Joe.
yes, he did.
He
yeah.
did look like he was from G.I.
Military
Joe.
Mask. We find out Military Mask is one of the
We
Guardian
we should
Angels.
call him American Military Mask because no other military in the world acts like that.
What? Not today.
Just pulls out a fucking machine gun.
So he is a Guardian Angel, like Blackjack Dealer Mask that we've seen. She hasn't been given a name yet.
Blackjack
But
dealer, man.
she looks like
wish
a
she
woman
turned
who
up
is
more.
a
Black-
blackjack dealer in a casino.
Homage to Pingu person there. Wap, wap.
That's Newt.
Noot, noot.
No, it's Moot Moot.
Moot, moot.
It's Newt.
Yeah,
Is it
no, no,
Newt?
no, 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 no. No, no.
So we go into episode 9. Dealer Mask. Oh, she did have a name. Dealer Mask.
Is
So I
she
was
back?
right.
Is she back now?
No, Dealer Mask sort of stands on a building, is looking over everything, and then she's like, they're getting closer to God, so maybe one day they may have to face me. Because us Guardian Angels are here to protect this world. Mamoru leaves Rika, and he goes off because he's like, I have business to attend to, I need to leave. Before he leaves, he motorboats Girl Mask to calm himself down because he gets a bit pepped up.
Yep, that calms me down. That's my relaxation place there. Completely relaxed.
Isn't that cow and chicken? The start bit.
We cut to Sniper Mask, who is trying to figure out how to work the phone that he now has, the one that he got from Dagger Mask. But he can't, his memory hasn't returned to the point where he knows how to operate a phone yet.
But he remembered how to operate a rifle.
Yes.
Absolute bullshit.
And,
Everybody knows how to operate a phone.
Suddenly, he has to dodge a snipe attack from Robin Hood Mask.
Oh, I like this mask. It's a
And
cool
they
mask.
have, they engage in a snipe off. But he runs across a bridge.
Newtown, let's go.
Robin Hood Mask snipes a bridge that he's standing on.
Why isn't Robin Hood Mask using a bow?
Yeah.
Oh no, good point. Yeah, no. It's like,
Ah,
maybe it's
this-
like Hunter Mask?
no, this Robin Hood
She just
mask
looked like
has
Robin Hood.
learned that guns are better than arrows. Unlike Green Arrow, unlike Hawkeye, all
And in
these
The Boys,
people,
if you remember.
And The Boys.
Yeah, so she snipes the bridge, knocks the cables down, the bridge collapses while Sniper Mask's on it, and he hangs from the bridge. And she's lining up that kill shot, and all of a sudden he gets a flashback to a competition or an agreement he had with Rika back in his previous life. And the agreement was that the one who lived the
Smelt it, dealt
cooler,
it.
the one who lived the cooler way of life wins. So he's like, well, what cooler way to die than to get sniped in the head? So he literally just points at his head and he's like, shoot me right here. And that sort of throws off Hunter Mask.
I can
or
relate
Robin
to
Hood
this
Mask.
man now.
And just as he's about to get sniped, Ayn turns
fine.
up and cuts the sniper in half with her katana.
Does Hunter Mask die here?
No, she gets
Yes,
away. So she engages with Ayn for a little while and then ends up running away. And we see that the Doctor and his little company that he has formed now, they're moving in. They've sort of joined the fray as it is. And he's got with him the old guy with the spear that he saved. He hurt, then saved. And there's also a young lad with them now as well.
Yeah, which comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, he comes out of nowhere. And the Robin Hood Mask has like a code name that we hear over the phone. She's called White Feather. So that's probably going to come up again at some point. I don't know. But Mamoru calls her White Feather. I don't know why.
Because she has a white feather in her cap.
But yeah. Instead of calling her Robin Hood.
I mean, that's probably trademarked.
Yuri and the rest of her group, they finally make it to the rendezvous point that they wanted to make it to, where everyone was going to meet up. Mayuko, at this point, is really suspicious of Kwan. So she takes Kwan off to the toilet to question her.
The perfect place for an interrogation.
Yeah, and she asks her, have you got a crush on Sniper Mask? And then while she's flustered about that, answering that, she then throws in the question, oh, by the way, are you the one that fires the railgun? And because she's flustered about the first question, she says yes and admits to being the person who can fire the railgun.
This girl was not designed for this world. Was she?
No, she's really not. As Yuri is alone while these two are in the toilet, a mask appears around the corner, and she's having a bit of trouble with this one for some reason. He is Sumo Mask, so his abilities are sumo wrestling abilities.
The reason she has a problem with this one is plot. Because
She has a gun,
Have you seen Edmund Honda fight?
but she has a gun.
Yeah.
Edmund Honda could just go ho 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 with his hand and avoid it. It's fine. That's what he does.
You know he's on about Street Fighter.
No.
In Street Fighter, there's a big dude called Edmund Honda, who is a
sumo
sumo.
wrestler.
Piece of shit out of Guile.
Okay.
Sonic Boom.
Yes, I know this completely.
Oh, God, you're not
I
seen the
too
movie?
listen to hip hop.
So
The
eventually,
movie's so good. It's bad that it's good.
Quan and Mayuko come back and
Kylie Minogue in it.
they help kill Sumo Mask, and Quan actually gets upset when they kill Sumo Mask, and she realizes at that point she doesn't have it in her to kill anybody. She's like, I can't do what you guys do. I can't do that. I can't kill people.
At this point, I thought to myself, she's going to die for the place of Rika later. I think later on, when it gets to the point when there can only be one.
I think they're going to play it so that she becomes God, and Yuri's like, I know who the perfect God's going to be, and it's going to be you, Quan, because you're the nice person, and she's going to get it. But I think that's where they were going to go.
But then
with
she's
it.
not going to.
I don't know.
I just don't think she'll get.
Is this Matt Cannon girl?
Yes.
Yeah. She would have been a much more interesting character if it turned out that they gave the most powerful weapon to the weakest person.
Which they have.
To
Which they
just
have.
I think
see
that's
what
obvious.
But then you've got to explore her
Why she's the weakest.
and more importantly, how it changes her. You got to explore that character a little bit.
Oh
If you're
yeah,
gonna
she's
do
got to
that.
develop with that power.
Yeah,
is
and
literally-
is it
That
going to
it-
twist
that-
her?
yeah.
Is it not? Is she still going to be good? Is she only ever going to use it on
She-
rare occasions, or is it going to be something that she does
The only thing
because
she
the wind
is,
changes?
The only thing she is she's obsessed with Sniper Mask.
Yeah.
That's her
she's the-
whole demeanor.
Her personality and her background is so mauve. We have no idea.
Well, it's I'm
Any
a
reason.
scared young girl, and I've got a crush on this cool guy.
But
That's
they don't
it.
expand on her personality at all.
No.
Which
Or
makes me
anyone's.
think, yeah.
Or
Well, they try
anyone.
to, because later on she gets all like, "No, you're right. I must do something," and she fires the railgun. But Sniper Mask turns up at this point. Mamoru gets to find out where the group's location is thanks to Investigator Boy Mask or whatever he is. I did write his name down later. We will get to it. Investigator Student Mask. That's his
Student
name.
Mask.
Investigator Student Mask. He is taking pictures and he's located the group's location. Quan tells Sniper that Rika is alive and he's been trapped by this evil guy who can control lots of masks. I guess they gathered that information at some point and we missed it.
Is
or-
that evil guy blonde? I think he is.
Yes, he is. Yes.
There we go. See, at least they've got some consistency. in the
Consistency
series.
right
And
here.
the episode ends with us seeing that Rika is in the custody of Girl Mask at the moment. And we go into episode 10. Episode 10 opens with us finding out... So, as he's being interrogated by Girl Mask, apparently she has the ability to tell if you're lying because she can sense brainwaves.
That's not how that works. is
And
it?
she, I don't know, but she questions him and she asks about Sniper Mask, and Rika kind of laughs this off, and he's like, "You've made one of the biggest mistakes of your life that you gave.
You will rue the day.
You gave that guy a mask and that power." He's like, "You don't know who you've given that mask to, because the guy you've given that mask to is going to fucking destroy you."
This is some good mind games from him.
Well,
He distracts
he-
them from
yes.
any other conversation about.
He is trying to hide the identity of his sister. So he's using Sniper Mask as that deflection. So he's making them look at him and worry about him rather than ask questions that could lead to them finding out about Yuri.
Which is good because they have an idea already, don't they? They have an idea that there's someone out there,
Who's firing the
Who's
railgun?
firing
That's
the
what they're looking
railgun.
for, yeah.
but is also taking out masks.
Yes,
But they think that person is one and the same.
yes. We cut to Sniper Mask and we see that he is starting to struggle now with his mask, and he turns around and he's like, "I'm going to go into hibernation soon."
Why is this all of a sudden come on?
Plot.
Yuri comes up with a bit of information at this point that she knows that the person they're fighting can control 30 masks. I don't know where she got that information from, because the only person who knew that was Rika, and she's not had any contact with Rika.
Plot.
So I'm not really sure where she got that from.
Do you reckon a lot of this show can be explained with having a lot of ideas, and then if you remove some of them but leave some in, you forget to edit certain things so that plots make sense?
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason that she should have known that. Like
No,
they've dropped the
absolutely
ball on
none.
that one. And Quan turns around to Yuri and is like, before he goes into hibernation, Sniper Mask wants to speak to you alone. We cut briefly away and we see that Rika's old group are still out there looking for him as well. So, because, he was their leader, they need to find him. Cut back to Yuri and Sniper Mask. Yuri's making a nice cup of green herbal tea,
Why
which
not?
she says she doesn't know how to make, but then makes it like a true Japanese professional would.
Like a pro.
Like a boss.
And Sniper Mask says to Yuri, look, you might have known me before all of this, because I was friends with your brother. So I'm going to take my mask off and I need you to tell me if you recognize me.
Why do they make this something so big for the audience?
And
They made this so massive and it went nowhere.
And then we didn't see his face.
no,
Well, no, I don't mind not seeing his face.
no, that's still fine to
but
hide.
I would have liked oh my god, I recognize you. Or you look older than
or,
what I
oh
remember.
my God, it's you.
Yeah. But instead we got, oh my god, well, you're pretty.
Yeah, that is what I was going to get to. She looks at Sniper Mask and she's like, oh my God, you're super
5
handsome.
minutes of fucking airtime for this as
You're
well.
you're
This
super
wasn't
handsome.
a little thing. They played this fucking up for a good 5 minutes and went, oh my god, you're so handsome. And that was it.
And then he goes to put it back on and she's like, why? You're so hot.
Why?
What a sick sky you've got over there.
What a
as
lovely
well.
seat you've got under your mask.
She's like, don't put the mask back on. You're so hot.
It's so weird.
I must. The city cannot see my true colors.
Oh, he's like Vega from Street Fighter.
Yeah. Oh, fuck off
And
with your
the-
Street Fighter. I don't know who these people are.
He wears
Can
a
you
mask.
just been like,
He's like
I wear the mask.
He's a cage fighter with
the
one
claws.
claw,
Yeah.
and he wears a mask, but he is very handsome.
Yeah.
He wears it in fights so he doesn't damage how
He
pretty
takes it
his
off at
face
the end of
is.
the fight, doesn't he?
At the end of the
One
fight, yeah, but
celebrations,
never during his fight because he
Yeah.
doesn't want to hurt his face because
Yeah.
he's so pretty.
Yeah. Anyway,
he's Rorschach. He wears a fucking mask.
not-
because
Rorschach doesn't wear it because he's pretty,
He wears it because he's...
because they show the emotions,
Yeah, exactly.
and he wants to instill fear into people.
He wears a mask because he doesn't want to show emotions. This sniper guy.
Sniper Guy goes into hibernation. He
I
shuts
call
down.
it sleep.
Yep.
IT guy's in there straight after. IT masks in.
And
I turned half an hour again.
we also see we see from a distance that Investigator Student Mask is still watching them, still reporting back everything that's happening. Well, actually, he's not telling anybody what's happening. He's just gathering intel at this point. Quan and Mayuko then take over, and they are going to go into Sniper Mask's mind and try and do what they did for Mayuko, which is free him from the system that is controlling him.
This scene...
Free him from the system.
Hack the planet.
So this scene really confused me. As we go along, I'll explain why
I
it
didn't
confuses
understand
me.
anything that went on when they were
Right,
inside his
so,
Like
head.
the
yeah,
fact
so
that
they-
there's
they-
youngsters and shit in there.
They go into his dream state that he's in, which is completely different from Mayuko's, which was
So his hibernation coma.
yeah, sort of thing. And they go in, and the idea is they need to find the mask program within the dream. But luckily for them, Quan can sense the program, so they don't have to look very hard because she can pinpoint exactly where it is. So they cut out all of this, what could have been
An
a difficult job trying to find the program. Instead, she goes straight to it.
Yes, in dreams, the ones and zeros is very hard to spot.
Is Quan
They're also
part of the program?
well, she's an enigma at the minute, isn't she?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Now you've said that she knows exactly where to go within the blooming program.
But she's also walked there by young Sniper Mask.
yeah.
Yeah, who just
Oh,
comes
look,
out of
he's
nowhere.
so cute.
She won't. Quan refuses to look at young Sniper Mask because she still doesn't want to see his face yet.
I love the fact that he still has his cravat.
As a child,
As a child. That child had style.
Quan arrives and finds
Milady.
she finds the mask program sitting on a bench, talking to young Rika, reading him a book, I believe, and she orders the mask to leave. And she does this, and she does it very quickly, basically. Like, she's like, leave. And then she turns around and she's like, it's done. And
Ooh, I'm
she's
so tired
I've
now."
managed to...
Demon.
I've exercised them demons.
mind is clear.
So what she's done is she's removed the murder command. That's it, though. But she could not get rid of the suicide command program, which is the one that if you remove your mask for too long, you have to commit suicide. So that's the excuse there that he now has to leave the mask on because that suicide program is still running. We cut to the little kid that's with the doctor and his crew, and the little kid's talking about guns and he knows all about guns because he games a lot, and the gaming has given him the knowledge of like what guns were and how to operate them. And
I 100% thought this kid was going to turn on her.
Absolutely.
When she
I'm
got the
calling
gun.
bullshit.
When he had the gun and she gave over the gun, I thought she was going to like turn around and he was going to fucking just cap her.
No amount of Call of Duty tells you that gun is going to jam.
Yeah.
There's no game on the planet.
Tarkov, you have gun jams and shit, but... And armour.
Yeah, but it's like realistically, that kid's only probably going to
That
know
kid's
the
playing
name
on a
of the gun.
fucking Wii.
It's Call of Duty in.
It's called, yeah.
No,
Call
he's,
of Duty.
he's playing Wii Sports Golf.
He is, yeah. Golf club jams.
First try.
Suddenly there's a cry for help, and Yuri hears this, and because she's all alone at the minute, she takes it upon herself to run off to see what that is. She's like, I'm going to go and help this person. She gets there, she opens this door, she runs across a bridge, opens the door, and she's met with a group of 4 masks, and there's like, this head turns to her and goes, you're too late. And the woman that had cried had been decapitated.
She had enough time to say, you're too late. That wouldn't be the first thing I'd say if my head was gone.
The masks turn on Yuri, and she goes to shoot them first, and they do this weird dance maneuver behind a shield where they dodge the bullets.
Oh, the BTS boys.
Yes. But it doesn't last long because she switches on
Mr.
that.
Mime maneuver, that.
It is. She switches
Simon
on the,
Cowell's sitting in the corner going, yes.
she switches on the ability to slow down time, and she just takes the 4 guys out quickly. But this tires her, so she drops to her knees. She's tired from the fight, and Investigator Student Mask turns up because he was watching the whole thing. And that is the end of the episode. So we go into episode 11, where Yuri is collapsed on the floor. She's tired, and Investigator Student Mask, instead of leaving and giving the intel back to his boss,
Which was his orders.
he decides, he sees in his head him killing Yuri and going back to the boss with Yuri's head, and the boss is like, you're the best, Investigator Student Mask. And he gets these delusions of grandeur that he's going to be this like hero, and so he takes it upon himself to finish off Yuri.
Even though the masks have to follow the orders exactly and not deviate from them.
So he whips open his coat, his Rain Mac, and beneath it is a chiseled physique
Yeah.
accompanied by dozens of
He
knives.
pulls a bit of a V, doesn't he?
He does.
From V for Vendetta.
If I'm still standing by the end of your bullets,
You're fucked.
you're fucked. And he wipes open his fucking jacket. He's got like 30 fucking knives.
Yeah.
There's a short fight scene where he's throwing a lot of knives, Yuri's running away, and then suddenly Mayuko appears, takes down Investigator Student Mask, and they knock him out. Well, before they knock him out, they get him to talk about Mamoru and the fact that, you know, he's the boss and he controls everything and rah rah rah. So Yuri's like, I'm going to have to kill this man that you're talking about. I'm going to have to kill your boss.
What a way to get to that point. You understand the big bad because one of his minions told you.
Well, he does it in like a passionate way, doesn't he? He's like, for the love of my boss, he's going to kill you because he's amazing.
And who's your boss?
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you who he is.
And do you have his phone number?
Yeah.
Address, last known location, please.
As it happens,
And national insurance.
I have a photo of him as well because I have a camera.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Canon camera.
He's got a camera. We cut to Mamoru, who is talking about the fight to come now that he knows the location of Yuri and her group, and what he thinks is the location of the person who can fire the railgun. He has put together a crack team to take them out. And luckily for him, he has an ace up his sleeve, and he has a mask known as Great Angel. And when he mentions the name, everyone's like, not Great Angel. Yeah.
Isn't it just Ubermensch? It's basically Ubermensch.
It's just plot.
It is, isn't it? Like this one.
And it's not like I get all shows a plot, but this is just like, here's some plot, and this happens because plot.
We find out that Great Angel sees all as evil because he is justice personified.
Is he?
Yes.
Bicycle of justice. This is what happens when Moomin Rider goes too far.
That's what
Mama-
happens when he dies. He goes to heaven.
When Mamoru captured Great Angel to be part of his team, he sealed Great Angel's powers away so that he was controllable. So he's this little tiny skinny man at the moment.
Would you have preferred to have not known what he was like with his powers until they got revealed at the time that he unlocks them? Rather than we get this
would have
whole
been, yeah, it would have been
fucking,
better
like,
if he'd have turned up and you knew nothing about him, and then,
Yeah.
and then it
A
was
whole
this scrawny
cutscene.
mask, and then
Yeah.
he's unleashed.
If they just
Yeah.
mentioned it's Angel Mon
Angel Mon,
or whatever.
it's the Rastafarian.
I thought he was going Digimon.
Digimon.
Oh, it's Rastafarian. I'm an Angel
Yeah.
Mon.
It's Levi Roots with wings.
It's reggae mask.
No, I would have just preferred if they'd mentioned him. Everyone was like, "Ah, fuck, you boys are screwed," but not knowing what the fuck it was or looked
Why?
like or anything.
Yeah.
And then when he turns up, someone just goes, "Oh my god, it's him!"
Even that was just like, we're fucking gone.
Yeah.
So you
This Railgo goes, "We're fucked," and run.
We cut briefly over to China Mask,
What?
who is
What?
China Mask is it's a
He just
female.
oppresses people
No, for
whilst looking like Winnie the Pooh.
China Mask.
you are going over that again. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. They will be running everywhere in 30 years' time. You are not keeping that in.
China Mask is taking pictures on behalf of the young lad who controlled the grocery guy.
Was the
mask
young
and
lad
stuff
covered
like
in honey? Because that's
like
the only
that.
way I could imagine him taking pictures.
And China Mask is scouting out the location of Yuri's group.
Jim looks so disappointed.
So,
Not even disappointed anymore. I kept your last one in with the Twin Towers. And that. We're not keeping this one in.
Time for trouble.
I am more scared of the Chinese government than the US government.
so we see Lady Mask, Swimmer Mask, and Great Angel leave ready for battle. Yuri knows that they're coming. I'm not 100% sure.
I know China watched closely. I didn't think it was that close.
No, so basically, China Mask told the young lad who was controlling her, and the young lad who's controlling her got hold of Yuri's number and rang her and was like, by the way...
Everyone's got everyone's. Do you think when it picks up a phone, it just assigns it to you, and then your number is just changed?
I
the
told
you,
name is changed.
Look, the mobile company that's in charge here has an operator.
It's
like 118.
No, it's just got one massive leak. That's all that's happened. It's the worst security you've ever seen on a phone ever. It's the PlayStation of phones.
I was going to say the Twitch of phones, but there we go.
It's at this point that the doctor walks back over to the group and he's like, guess what, everybody? I've got a new power now. I can stop an angel's movement and freeze them in place.
Just by looking at them, or
And
one
he has to
second.
point at them, doesn't he?
That's the
Yeah, he
doc-
does the whole wizard thing of
So
stop.
they're like, show us, do it on Sniper Mask. And he's like, okay. So he stands in front of Sniper Mask. He points at him and he's like, freeze. And Sniper Mask looks at him for a second and then lifts his hand up. And the guy's like, oh, it didn't work. And then Sniper Mask's like, no, it did. For 1 second, I could not move. And they're like, this is a good power to have. Because in a battle, 1 second could be the difference between life and death.
I mean, it's not.
or you
good.
just go freeze, 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 freeze.
You could.
No, because you'd be empty
It'd be
of
empty.
your power.
I mean, don't worry, the doctor gets emptied of all of his blood soon enough.
It'll
Anyway.
just regenerate into a new doctor,
Ah, good point. Yeah. Probably a woman.
and the ratings will go down.
Yuri decides.
Don't act like it didn't happen. I didn't make it happen.
I'm not saying
I don't like shitty Doctor Who.
I'm-
It was just happenstance that they put a female lead and the ratings went down. To be fair, I found her better than fucking Matt Smith.
I'm looking forward to the next Doctor. The guy from Years and Years.
I like David Tennant. He was good.
David Tennant was a
They're
good.
going to have a gay Doctor this time.
Come with me to my police box.
I'll take you to another world.
That's Aladdin. He's doing Aladdin now, isn't he?
Yes.
A whole new world. So
Not in
I
Saudi
can
Arabia.
show you the world.
Not in Saudi Arabia.
Come live in the line.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
A whole new
Just step
life.
outside and go, well, there you
Whole
go.
new line.
There to there, that's the world. You got two options. You can go left, you can go right.
Or stuck in the middle with
Stuck
you.
Right here. Yeah.
So,
Have fun.
if you don't know what the line is, Google it.
Enjoy George Orwell's 1984.
So Yuri decides to tell the Doctor everything at this point. She's like, he needs to know that I'm not the one that controls the railgun. And she tells him her story and everyone else's story that's with her. I don't think
Where's
that was her
Rose
place
doing
to
all
do
this?
that. He decides he still wants to help Yuri. He's like, you are the better of two evils. So I'm still going to stick with you. Regardless of the fact that you lied and you've done this, that, and that. I still think you're the person I want to help. He changed his tone because he was quite evil.
A third option.
Walk away.
Yeah. Just don't interfere.
Yeah, walk away. Take Ein and leave. You've lost Spy.
Yeah. Call it quits. Rather than playing with the devil or his mate.
We cut quickly.
I mean, you haven't got a choice, though, have you? Sorry, you haven't got a choice, though. This genie wants to take over the world, and if you're not okay with this, then he'll get rid of you. That's basically...
What happens when they take over the world? Say every person just, without fighting, goes, no, you're cool. Yeah, you'll do. You lead.
Then you
We'll
take
chill
over
out.
the world. Mate, you get...
And then the world goes to chill mode.
yeah.
That's worst case scenario here.
No
one here has got freedom anyway because they're trapped.
I thought it was eugenics anyway.
No
They
one
wanted to
here
do-
has got. There's no voting system. There's no reasons.
Well,
there's
you
no
get
jobs.
rid of...
Economy's not going to change. The entire world stays the same regardless of whether you join as one band or you don't.
No, but
Not
this
if you're,
world goes back
not if
to
you're
the-
making the rules.
Yeah.
What are the rules going to be?
No religion.
Whatever
That's fine.
You get rid of that because then you
No,
phase out war. Religion goes, war goes.
Territories need to go for war to go.
Yes,
War happens
the world
because
becomes
of
unified. doesn't it?
territories.
The world becomes
That's-
unified.
The point of Star Trek
Yeah.
is there are no territories anymore.
The world is just one place.
And look how well that turned out in Star Trek. The amount of fights they had in Star
Yeah,
Trek.
but the Earth isn't at war. The Earth is at peace. Every human colony is peaceful,
That's all you need.
based purely on exploration.
I
Love.
prefer the Star
They
Trek.
just happen to have cannons.
I prefer the Starship Troopers alternative.
Would you like to know more?
Yes, I
So
would.
we cut quickly to the rooftop where Sniper Mask is up there with the young lad that the Doctor brought along, and the young lad's called Usaki, and he's looking through the binoculars and he spots Lady Mask, and the kid's like, "Hold on a minute," because Sniper Mask is literally
She's
about
taking
to
her
kill
clothes
her.
off.
That's my mama.
And he is like, "That's my mum." And Sniper Mask, when he says that, Sniper Mask
Is she hot?
skews his shot, and he misses her, and she manages to throw a load of tear gas canisters around.
I thought it was like
rooftops.
smokescreen shit.
Yeah, it is smoke screens. Yeah.
Batman's the fuck out of it.
Swimmer Mask and Great Angel appear on the rooftop, and they're confronted by Yuri, Mayuko, and Ein. This is when Great Mask is put on the phone, and Mamoru is like, "I'm going to unlock your abilities now," and he says a randomly selected amount of phrases that are to unlock.
That's a
him.
real Captain America thing.
What, on your left?
No, with
No,
the
he
Bucky
means when
Barnes,
Bucky
like-
was brainwashed with the red
Oh,
book.
yeah.
And it was just a bunch of random phrases. That is essentially what happens here. And Great Angel is unleashed, and he becomes mega hench.
Ubermensch.
Yeah, he's just...
Mega Garurubon.
Yeah, but isn't it like he turns around to him on the phone after he's unlocked
He wants to kill
his
him.
powers, and he's like, "If you want to go through me, you'll have to go through my minions." And he looks ahead and he thinks they're his
Yeah,
minions.
yeah,
If they hadn't been there, he'd have been like, "Cool, I'm just going for those fucks."
Well, basically, he wants to kill Mamoru because he knows that Mamoru locked his powers away. So he's angry and he's after Mamoru. So Mamoru plays it off that Yuri and her group are actually his henchmen, and he has to get through them to get to him.
Yeah, but he ignores
does.
them.
Yeah.
So why did they even fucking bother?
He literally leaps over them and is like, "I've got bigger fish to fry," and runs off into the building.
So why did they fucking bother?
I don't know. And the episode ends with Yuri facing off one-on-one. She sends the other two away and she's like, "Go and stop that Great Angel. I'll deal with Swimmer Mask." And Yuri faces off against Swimmer Mask. And we go into the final episode, episode 12.
Why did it take so long for Yuri to take out swimmer mask. She just kept trying to shoot him.
He's a fucking dick, Swimmer Mask. He just kills people for the fun of it.
Yeah, but he just kept picking up fucking air conditioning units, and she kept shooting the fucking air conditioning units for an entire episode.
Episode 12 opens with Lady Mask, and
Because that's what happens, isn't it? She's shooting him, and he keeps going, oh, 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 oh," just walking towards her, and she keeps stepping backwards. I'm just like,
He's just trying to get her to chill out.
that's not what it was.
he's trying to crush her in his own way.
Because we all know that swimming pools have air conditioning units in them.
We'll talk about his swimming abilities in a minute. So Lady Mask, at the opening of episode 12, she sort of slumps against a wall and she's holding her head and she's like, that voice when the sun screamed out to her, when Usaki called out to her, she remembers it, she recalls it. She's like, I remember that voice.
This is the power of mama. This is what happens all the time in all of these things. You see a child, and all of a sudden it's like, flashback.
Yep.
Oh, I have a child.
Yeah.
And it
Nothing
breaks
more
all...
stronger than a mother's love.
Pizza dough. Have you ever tried to stretch pizza dough? That's pretty fucking strong.
So Great Mask, firstly, he's shot at by Sniper Mask, and he just catches the bullet as he's climbing up the building.
That was impressive.
And he's like, Great Mask is like, well, if this guy's going to keep shooting at me, I'm just going to get inside. So he smashes through one of the lower floor windows. By the way, this guy's strong enough to climb up and down buildings.
Yeah.
Just
It turns into frickin'
absolutely
King Kong.
forget that for the plot.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Don't need to worry about that for the plot.
King Kong.
Not a problem.
Right here.
Nothing to do with being trapped on the rooftops in this show whatsoever. Don't worry about it.
Forget about all these things that you've learned.
So, suddenly on the rooftop, during all this action, Kwan panics and she starts crying and she's like, I can't do this. I'm not powerful enough to do this. And she turns to Sniper Mask and she's like, let's just leave. Just like, can we go? Can you take me away from the fighting because I'm not strong enough? And Usaki's on the roof with them, and Sniper Mask's like, yes, let's go. And Usaki, the child, turns around and goes, what are you doing? You can't abandon everybody now. Like, your job is to help. And Sniper Mask is like, I'll come back once I've got Kwan somewhere safe. And Usaki's like, you're a coward. This is the child.
Yeah,
He's
both
like,
of them.
you're a coward. And if you're not going to fight, then I'll fight. I know I'm only a child, but at least I'm brave.
Imagine how long that fight would last.
Imagine how shit you'd feel if a child just showed you up like that.
Oh, probably would. I bet you that child's
Well,
like,
there's only one thing worse than a sniper. A child.
Great Mask inside the building is confronted by Ein, and there's a very quick exchange between the two of them, and he ends up just snapping her sword.
I'll see what you did there.
It took you a while.
We've all seen that fucking office moment where
Sheeny
it's like,
got it. That's why I gave her a
I,
little
I
giggle.
knew it. That's why I didn't follow. You are so slow.
I've still got a hangover.
Suddenly, during the fight, the Doctor and
You
Mayuko
keep saying
appear.
suddenly, and all I think
It
of
is suddenly.
is, I'm not half the man I used to be.
It's because everything's so sudden in there.
There's a swimmer
looking over me.
So it turns into a 3v1 fight with Mayuko, Ein, and the Doctor facing off against Great Angel. And this is when the Doctor uses his ability to freeze Great Angel for 1 second. And
That's all you need when he's climbing a building, right? Is to just wait till he's mid-change and just go, freeze! Fuck.
they attack. Mayuko and Ein attack. And Great Angel manages to dodge them slightly. So as he appears on the other side of the room, he has cuts on him. So he didn't dodge completely. They managed to land a hit on him. He
You got
then
blood on my
he
favourite suit.
turns around to the Doctor and he's like, you're going to be a problem. So he pulls out of his pocket a bullet. And
That
he,
bullet that was shot by the sniper.
yeah, he pulls out the bullet and he turns to the Doctor and he goes, finger flick, and flicks the bullet and it just
Goes for his neck.
pierces the Doctor's throat.
Oh, and his
Who did
Ein
that?
tries to like
Who-
jump
what?
in the way, doesn't
That's
she?
the mask again.
Yeah.
He gets shot all the, like tons in the club. And then, no, at the end of the movie, isn't he? He gets
Yes.
shot tons of times and he just spits out bullets.
Yeah. So Mayuko has to fight. Ein goes and helps the Doctor. So Mayuko is left alone to fight Great Mask. And she says to her inner mask, how is there any way we can beat him? And the mask program goes, there is a way. if you can hold out for 3 minutes,
I can do a disc defragment.
I can defrag and give you a power boost.
Let me optimize my file.
Literally is that.
Yes.
I've organised your files. You've got more room now for
I've
memories.
erased memory space. Yeah.
Yeah, me.
Absolute fucking horse shit.
Just as Mayuko is getting beaten, the old guy with the spear turns up and he tells off Great Mask and tells Great Mask that he is the villain and that the old guy is the hero who shall smite the villain. He is another version of Great Angel, which confuses Great Angel for a second.
Yeah, because Grey Angel goes, me.
That's an existential crisis.
He does. What's that?
That's a moped.
Is that a moped?
That's a moped. It's probably delivering dominoes. Brum, brum, pop, 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 pop.
Why has he got a fucking rocket attached to it?
Because his penis is small. That's why. It makes
Fair
lots of
enough.
noise.
No, he's just got a guy on the back with a trombone.
That's the modern day coconuts, isn't it?
But that guy, when he turns up, he's like, "Huh? What are you on about? I thought I was justice."
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
crisis moment where he's calling me the villain. Mayuko at this point has slipped away and she's having a conversation with the command program in her head again, and it says to her that she must erase parts of her brain so that she can make room for new abilities. And she's like, what part do I need to erase? And the computer program's like, me.
Well, you don't need years 1 to 3.
You
Don't
do.
worry about it.
Nobody remembers them anyway.
Yeah, she's like-
Hold on, aren't those the formative years where you get your language and that?
Well, I mean, you still retain that. You don't need to know, that you've got a car for Christmas and your second fucking year round.
I love the fact that did you just pluck that out of your ass, or was it like a serious?
I don't remember
Thing
what I
that
got
you
for
remember.
Christmas when I was 2. Probably some coal
Well, then your
and a wheel
memory.
and a wheel and stick.
Well, your
Being old.
sticking a ball in a cup.
Hold on. We jump back to old guy who has been defeated by Great Angel. I think he said he
Touched him
touched him, and the old guy just
with one finger.
Go on.
defeated. The old guy.
I've got nothing left.
It's Roxy Rocket from Scott Pilgrim. Just one touch. Back of the knee. Done.
But luckily for him, Mayuko turns around the corner. She's back, and she's back for more with the new power-up ability.
You did it again this week, Scott Pilgrim.
I
Back in
can't help it,
again.
all right? One of my favourite movies ever. I've seen it so many times.
So we jump back to Yuri, who's fighting Swimmer Mask, and at this point, Swimmer Mask has begun swimming through the gas
Yeah.
as if it was a liquid.
How? He does like the whole fucking Jaws thing where he goes under the water and then pops up behind her.
Everything's a liquid if you condense it enough.
I don't think
That's not the way it works.
Yeah, it could be what was going on there. That was just. Yeah,
It's a gas, which if you condense a gas turns into a liquid.
but this isn't condensed.
No, it's just smoke.
It's just smog.
That he is swimming through.
Can you imagine him in
if you see
Victorian London? The world's greatest hero. Is it a man? Is it a plane? No, it's a man in Speedos.
Flying across the sky.
Just doing a breaststroke. Just doggy paddling the roofs of London.
Just backstroking past.
Fucking Jekyll and Hyde.
Stand down, villain. Doggy paddles.
Eventually, he is shot and killed.
It'd have to be old-timey swimming clothes as well,
Oh,
wouldn't
it would, yeah, the onesie.
He's
It's striped onesie, of course. With the swimming cap and
It's like
everything.
Pugsley from the Addams Family.
Fucking Popeye style.
he is eventually shot and killed by Yuri. His swimming didn't get the best of her, and she manages
Really?
to kill him.
The thing that moves slower than running? I would never have guessed.
His gigantic pecs did nothing to protect him from the
I
bullet.
mean, imagine going, I'm covered by smoke here. This is camouflage. They can't see me. I'll swim.
But how lame would it be if you dropped to the floor and started crawling around?
With him flopping like a magic carp.
But that's what you'd see. That's what you'd see if there was no smoke. He's literally like swimming through the floor.
All you hear is a whistle blow and flap, flop, 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 flop.
It's just like a caterpillar, like snaking his way along the floor.
I would have preferred if it was Street Shark style. He just dived into the concrete.
Fucking hell, what a tunnel.
Yeah, just fucking dig the dog
That's
trio.
only Tunnel Mask can do that.
Bugs
he's-
Bunny mask.
And he's already escaped. Nobody noticed. He's gone. he's
The mole.
already gone.
I fucking hate guard dogs.
I fucking love Atlantis with Lemole.
Oh,
That's South Park. What are you talking about?
What are you on about?
The mole is from South Park.
Ah, but Lemole is
he's
also
on
from
about Lemole
Atlantis.
from Atlantis. Disney's Atlantis.
Exactly the same.
Exactly
the same character.
The crossover you didn't know you wanted.
But it's the one that we get.
Meanwhile, Mayuko is still not strong enough to defeat Great Angel, and he's starting to get the best of her. However, he does noticeably now look tired. She has worn out Great Mask slightly, even though he is getting the better of her. She turns to him, and she's like,
There's a lot of turning, by the way.
I give up.
Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you never come around.
And she
Turn around.
she goes, I give up, and she jumps out of the window as she screams, I give up. And apparently this is the secret signal that nobody knew about, that we didn't know about as the viewer.
Did she try and steal third base?
It's a
Tugged on a hat, wing, rubbed her elbow. I think he's telling me to steal third.
it's a signal to Sniper Mask that Kwan should now use her railgun ability because the building is clear of their friends.
Did we see what happened to her when she jumped out this window?
She lands on a ledge, I believe.
Plot ledge.
That is a thick ledge
That's
right
a
there.
thick plot ledge right there.
Well, so Kwan fires off the railgun at its lowest setting. She uses the lowest setting so she doesn't blow the entire building apart. She blows a chunk of the building. Specifically,
Yes,
where Great
Poundland
Angel
batteries,
was.
not Durex.
Woman Mask at this point.
Duracell. Durex batteries.
Ripped for your pleasure.
You all just went with it. Duracell.
Yes,
It's because I
Durex.
pictured the bunny and I went, condom.
Rabbit.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
Woman Mask.
Keeps going on and on and on.
Woman Mask happens to see her son as she's about to get into the fight, and she's like, I recognize him, and it puts her off. So she runs off. She leaves. She's so confused at this point that she just runs off
I don't know how that works.
through the.
Like,
well,
that- it doesn't further the plot.
I don't know. She's
At
struggling. She's struggling internally with this identity crisis. Through the smoke and the ash and the rubble, they think they've destroyed Great Mask, but they haven't. He manages to survive the railgun shot. However, they say that his organs are destroyed. He as he comes out, he's like, all of
He
my
survived, but his organs are fucked.
my organs are.
What?
My
That
organs,
means you didn't survive.
He's like, my organs are shutting down. And
I'm perfectly fine, but I've got no lungs left.
I'm just imagining the fucking Phantom of the Opera mask. My organs have shut down.
so he says, I best take out this pest that is my Mayuko and then run off so I can recover and recuperate. He goes to attack Mayuko and is stopped and taken out by Yuri. Then, as Yuri is about to kill him, she gets a message from the inner command in her head saying that she has now achieved the ability to control angels, and it so happens that she is compatible with Great Angel. And would she like to seal Great Angel's powers and take control of him?
The plottiest fucking thing
Yep.
that we see.
During this, they let slip Yuri's last name, and investigator
Geller.
Student Mask has escaped their custody, overheard their name, and is like, that's the same last name as that Rika boy that we have. So he runs off.
And we see none of that. We see none of the escape. We see none of the way he fucking gets to that position.
No, we don't. She takes control of Great Mask. They go and see the doctor, who unfortunately has passed away from his neck wound. And Ein turns around to Yuri and is like, I belong to you now. His dying wish was that the control of me goes over to you. So she now has control of Great Mask and Ein.
I would have preferred that she was just given her own free will, but she decided that in revenge she was going to join
I
her.
think in essence that is free will. I think that he said to her, "I want you to join Yuri," but it wasn't an actual command that she had to follow.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure she said it was a command.
Yeah, she said, I followed his last command, which was to
I
join
don't think she
Yuri."
had to though, because that it says you have to. You as the person who is closer to God have to take control of the mask. So it's not said that you can transfer over. So I think she's taken it upon herself to just follow Yuri.
I would have just preferred that to have been cleared up, like they say, I want to join you to avenge my
Doctor.
doctor's death.
Yeah, they could have done that. And the episode ends with Mamoru calling Rika, who has woken up because he smashes his head against the floor and injures himself at some point.
Yeah, that was when he was being interrogated.
Yeah, he gets a phone call and Mamoru drops the sister bomb on him, saying, "I know your sister's in this world as well, and I can use you as bait to get her."
And he puts on his worst poker face
And
ever.
he's like, "What? I don't have a sister? What are you on about?" And
my sister, no.
Rika, help. And the episode ends with a cutscene of everybody gearing up and setting out, ready for the next chapter.
Did we see the after credits bit?
No.
No.
That was
Did
the
you not?
answer. No.
So there was an after
You think
credits
I was going to
bit.
stay longer than I had to with
Stick
this?
around.
Fucking hell.
I did, just to see what
Stay
happened with
tuned
that.
for our ratings.
What was it?
So the after credits piece is the brother along with Mamoru, and Mamoru shows him a phone with the code on.
Oh, this code that they were talking about.
Yeah,
What's that?
I have a feeling it might be something to turn him into a mask without a mask.
Oh, like a command code.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
He's hacking. He's
He's
cheating.
the system, yeah.
So, that is the end of the first season of High Rise Invasion.
And the last season of
possibly
High
the
Rise
only season of
Yeah.
High Rise Invasion.
Fuck, I'll be
Um,
surprised if this gets fucking renewed for a second season.
What's our final thoughts?
It was a good idea for a kind of Hunger Games type deal
Yeah.
done in an anime way really badly. I wouldn't have mind seeing a Hunger Games type of thing in an anime style with powers and, you know, abilities and magic and you know, all the extras that go with the anime universes. But fuck me, this is shit. Which is such a shame because it could have just been a fun show. But they end up trying to bog it down with all these very interesting characters, and none of them come off as interesting. Instead of doing what One Punch Man did, where they show you characters that are a bit like hyper versions of of normal characters,
Yeah.
you know, where they take a one-dimensional character and make him an exceptional one-dimensional character, like fucking Bicycle of Justice.
Bring motherfuckers.
You know, he's a bog standard nothing, but they make him so interesting because they really emphasize that one thing about him, and the masks seem to do that
Yeah.
without any of the fun of One
Yeah.
Punch Man.
Yeah.
And there's no joined up thinking in the way that they build these plots.
None. No.
This is a problem that I think that Netflix have in general.
Yeah.
Building up a plot which is relevant and works in a concise, joined up way.
What it comes across as is someone comes up with a really good idea. Some very respectable anime writer comes up with a good plot device, and then Netflix get handed that, and then their writers go, "We need to expand this," and they're bad at it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. It felt like this show had a lot of storylines running at the same time.
Too many.
But
And-
none
and
of them were important.
And it clustered it
Yeah.
completely. You know, you've got the game of who's going to be the next god. You've got the mystery around Brother Rika and his relationship with Sniper Mask and Sniper Mask's story. You've got Mamoru's story, wherever that's coming from, and everything just
And
gets
now we're getting
meshed.
a young boy story.
Yeah,
with-
the young boy with the mum, and it's all getting meshed in together, and it's just a mess. It's a tangled web of
This should have-
storylines.
It is. And what they should have done is taken, this is our main character, and gone, this is how all these other characters come into her life and leave her life. And, you know, have Sniper Mask run alongside because he's quite a cool character. He
Yeah.
really
And
is.
we all like Sniper Mask.
Yeah,
Or
he's
they
a
could,
cool
they
character.
could have just paired her up with Sniper Mask
Yeah,
as the unlikely duo. That, you know, there's this one Mask who doesn't listen to orders for some reason, and now he's taken a liking to Yuri, and we don't know why.
I mean, I like Mika.
I don't. I could have done without Rika being
Yeah,
in that
that's
world.
Yeah.
Mika, yeah.
I could have done without him being there, and like there is no fucking brother there with her.
what they should have done is made Rika the young girl that's with Sniper Mask, and just follow them two story,
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
and have Sniper Mask with this broken dude that protects this girl who, in all reality, doesn't actually fucking need protecting, and that's the irony.
and she's in a game she doesn't want to win
Yeah.
because she doesn't want to be God.
You can still keep her the same fucking type of character she is. You just don't need to have all the fucking plot devices that get thrust on her. Here's a new power because you're fucked and we wrote you into a corner.
Yeah.
I don't mind new plot devices coming in, but make them into more of a
Just plausible.
fluid way.
Yeah.
Rather than the way that we get it, where it's just like dumped on the top.
Yeah, it was
And you
very
just, like,
much.
You're like, oh, okay.
It was a
like,
shit pile where the toilet got stuck.
Yeah.
And they just kept piling on shit.
A lot of times they gave information that they shouldn't have known as well, which I found very frustrating watching
Yes.
it. There were times when it was like, this character shouldn't know that yet, or shouldn't know that at all. And yet they've got this information, and
I think that's where the bad writing comes in, because as an audience, we're supposed to know that.
you know, there was a
And
lot of
the
confusion around
characters
phones.
aren't.
The phones were confusing
Yeah.
as shit.
They shouldn't have worked at all.
I just don't get it. How everyone knew each other's numbers all
It's
the
easy.
time.
All
and-
you have to do is have them be walkie-fucking-talkies where they just randomly select a frequency and then go, oh, fuck, who are you?
Oh, that'd be quite cool. Yeah, you communicate with different groups randomly, and you don't
And then
know
you
who
start
you're talking to.
and then you start writing in a fucking notepad that this frequency was that person, this frequency was that, this is
Yeah,
their
that'd
call
be quite
handle,
cool.
that's their call handle, and you've solved the mobile phone problem. But instead, they wanted to use smartphones. Pack it in.
So I'm
Stop.
trying to work out, and maybe I'm excusing it a little bit here from the writers, okay? It seems like the writers came into the room and they had loads of good ideas. If you know what I mean? It's like everybody came in with loads of ideas and they're like, shit, that's good, we'll put it in, we'll
but
put
they're
it in.
all for different shows.
But no,
Same
What
show,
I
but
wanna-
they've messed it up.
what I want to say
Tangled
is
web.
sometimes, guys, less is more.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
100%.
sometimes
many cooks.
too many different things that you're trying to bring in such a short amount of time. You don't need this amount. What you should have done was come in with these concise points that you wanted to have that were really good.
Yeah, but isn't that how you write anything?
Yeah,
That's how
Right,
you write
no.
a book.
Pick your
and
lane.
a film. You go, these are the main points we need to hit along the way.
Yeah.
And then,
Got
you know,
plot
we've
beats.
got to get to those points. Yeah, the plot beats. And we've got to get to those points when in good time and when we need to and when the storyline matches to.
This
Yeah.
show went in two very different directions at the same time. It either went that we got character development or we got plot development, but never both simultaneously. One didn't happen because of the other, and character
Yeah.
development should happen because of plot.
And they were
Yes.
too rapid.
And then plot should happen because of character development. But in this, they didn't. They just let them run as two separate lines.
And rapid as well, weren't
Yeah,
they?
and you're
Oh.
supposed to understand that one leads to the other, but they don't show you any of it. They don't kind of make any sense of any of it.
and like we said before in episode 1 to 6 that we did, the ways that they did it were just info dumps.
Yeah, it
Like,
was. End of the
wasn't
episode.
Developed
Here's some
ways of
bits.
putting things into a show, and I mean between 7 and 12, we didn't really have much info dumps. It was more of the fact that the shit that they had given us was so tangled, and they seemed like they were just trying to run with it.
They focused on the fight between Mamoru
Well,
and Yuri's
The
group,
first,
and that was
the
it.
first 7 episodes were building a team, but it was like you say, it was done in a very convoluted, bad way.
And the team never built.
The team never actually came to fruition, and you end up with characters that are separated from each other, and never, which I wouldn't have minded if they were a team and got separated, but
Yeah.
they're not. Instead, you're following 4 different storylines.
Yeah, yeah,
How many
absolutely.
cuts did we have? How many times during
Oh,
these, like,
quite a lot
things
of
that
times you would cut away to the next thing and the
Yeah.
next thing, and this person's doing this over here. and
If
this
you're going to
person's doing
do
this.
lots of plots, you need to do an episode for this person or
Yeah.
these group of people that are together.
But then you don't have
and
one
then-
main character, do you?
No.
You have a group of main characters.
Yeah, and then
who-
it's your job at the end to guess which one's going to get all the powers
Yeah,
and
which
become
one's closer to God.
our lead protagonist.
which would have been great.
and have lots of micro protagonists, the main one in each group, and have an episode dedicated to that group with that person showing why they're the protagonist in that group. And then,
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, episode 3, they switch to a different group, and then you get their story from the beginning.
And I wouldn't have minded it if you killed off groups.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been good.
Yeah, but you have that sole person who survives from those groups. And
I would have even
and-
just said, like, you have groups like the Old Man group where it's just like, yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
Like,
And then the old man found that other group, and hey ho,
he's in
4's
with that
gone
lot.
to 3.
or we lost connection with them.
Yeah.
You know, via walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
That group, that whole team, we can't communicate with anymore. And then you know, we find out later on that another group took that group out.
Yeah, Mamoru, and he was just dealing with them.
Yeah.
One
Well,
by
you
one.
save him right until the very last few episodes, and then all of a sudden we find out there is a bad guy who hasn't got a group of survivors. He's got a group of fucking masks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was pushed way too early.
He kept.
Episode 7.
No,
Mamoru is the big bad and should have been saved.
he should have been
much
saved
later.
until.
No, but that's what I mean. He came in episode 7, and
Yeah.
we
He
basically
should.
had
We
him
should
till
have
12.
never seen any of his actions, movements, plots, or anything
No.
until season 2. I think the problem is that Netflix
They've tried to
shows
put this into
know
one
they're
season.
not going to get a season 2, so they need to hook
Yeah.
you in on something big in the hopes that they get renewed.
You needed him in the last episode to be revealed.
Yeah.
Right at the very end of it as well. So you work out throughout it that there is some sort of mastermind guy in the background who's pulling some strings and controls masks.
Yeah, but-
and nobody knows how he controls masks because
You
he's
just
the
get-
only one who can do it.
That's
Yeah.
it. You just get
He's the
people to
only
say,
one.
"My boss, my master,
That's his only
my
power.
leader."
Yeah, that's the only power he's granted. Like you said, where you get one power from the
Yeah.
mask, and he happens to control the power to control masks, and that's it. But only like low-level ones and medium-level ones. He can't control the like mega powerful masks. He can only control low-level
I don't
ones.
really like the fact that there's like Ubermensch level fucking masks.
That's weird. That's weird. Great
It's
Angel was a weird one.
Very strange that there's a ranking
Great
system.
Angel did not fit.
No, not at
me.
all.
No, even
at
when you know what's going to happen with him, right? Because when she gained control of him and she locked away his powers, and it became that fucking
Yeah.
scrawny thing.
Yeah.
He's
What's
even
going to
years
happen
later.
is he's going to get Superman syndrome, where he gets converted because he spends all this time with these people,
He likes
and
them.
then they're going to go. It's going to be no, you can trust me. Just let me loose, and then give him his powers back, and he's going to go do God's.
Yeah. Yeah, he turns
God's
to
will.
he turns to him and he goes, "You are justice. You are good.
Yeah.
and I won't harm.
I
you."
was wrong,
Yeah.
and then go fight for them. That's all that's going to happen.
Yeah, of
They've
course it
taken
is.
away
Of
the
course it is.
powers to fucking. You know,
They've got a secret weapon now.
Yeah,
Yes.
we could
they
see
could
that.
pretty much fucking win with.
yeah, to get
That's-
Stockholm syndrome, the dude.
I think we all saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when they
But
got
they
that
don't
person-
hide fucking anything in
No,
this
they
show.
don't,
Even
they
when it
don't.
comes to the bad guy, they went, "My boss," and then in the next scene, he's like, "And here he is."
yeah.
Inspector Gadget didn't do that. No one knew who the
No.
fucking Claw was.
No, you
But
needed
it's been-
Mamoru in the fucking evil chair. Right at
That's
the very
all you
fucking
need.
end.
That all you
That's what you
need.
needed.
Every time they mention him, just have his mouth on the screen. That is it.
Yeah.
Just from
Yeah,
his
yeah.
nose to his
That's
jaw,
it.
and have him talk.
Or,
you don't
like,
know what he looks like.
backlit
Yeah.
scenes, or him
That's all
standing,
you need.
or a figure standing at the window
A
as it's
silhouette.
raining.
You want Giovanni. don't
Yeah,
you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's
you
exactly what we want.
do.
Because even Pokemon knew to do it right, and it's aimed at fucking toddlers.
Yeah, you needed him, and then right at the very end, you need him standing there in front of a rainy window, lightning outside, and he turns and he goes, "I'm gonna have to rethink my plan."
With a glass of grape juice.
and cheese. Of course,
And
we
his
can't
evil
forget
and he's
cheese.
just surrounded by masks.
Yeah, that's all you need.
that are all fucking like kneeling
God,
in
that
front
would
of
be
him.
awesome.
But all the
Isn't it?
masks should be silhouette except for the mask. It should just be blacked out bodies with
Yeah,
just
'cause
the
you don't- so
emotion
you
ma-
don't know their
so
powers
you don't
and
know
stuff.
what the fuck they are, and he just throws them at you one by one until the end when he goes, "This isn't working. I thought these guys were stronger." Then sends them all,
Yeah, and then there's a mega fight. At
and
the
then
end.
there's a
Yeah,
mega
yeah.
fight.
I think I tried to say this earlier, but what I was thinking was that they've put all of these ideas into one season.
Yeah,
And
and it's not
that's the
one
problem.
season's amount of ideas.
Yeah,
It's
they've
really not.
amalgamated
You are right.
a load of seasons into one season.
Which is
and
yeah, but that's unfortunate because they planned for a second season. So if you're already thinking ahead,
That's-
going, we want to bring out a second season.
That's the
if we
point,
can.
though, isn't it? It's a Netflix show made and published by Netflix.
Yeah,
They must have got Netflix can't say no, we're not renewing it because Netflix won't let us.
Yeah.
They are Netflix.
yeah.
unless they've now been told that the studios are shutting down.
No, it failed.
It failed.
unfortunately,
it failed.
so
They're
we can't
still
do a
making
second season.
Castlevania. Season 5 is coming because it's good.
It happens. Comey Can't Communicate got 2 seasons, and that's brand new.
What's the fuck? The gambling one got 2 seasons.
Kakagure got
Yeah.
2 seasons and a live action.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that Netflix won't publish anime and make it. It's that the shit that they put out just falls flat on its face, and they've only got themselves to blame.
This fell flat, unfortunately for them, and it could have been so much better.
Yeah, someone watched Hunger Games and went, "What if we put all these different characters from anime in there?" But instead of doing it like One Punch Man, like what I said, where they,
I like the rooftop idea,
yeah, it's good.
but what I
Where
would
do
have had,
superheroes fight the most? It's on fucking rooftops.
but what I would have had is I would have had all rooftops above the clouds, so they
Yeah.
can't see the fucking floor, so they don't even know if there is a
Oh,
floor.
you're in God City now, bitch.
So that
Yeah,
you
but
don't
that's-
even know there's a floor. So when people throw themselves from the roofs and that, you
There's
don't
the
even know
ultimate
where
goal
they've
then.
gone.
You don't get to a helicopter. You need to get below the clouds. What's below?
Or that's
what-
not their goal, but they
but
want
you
to
could-
see what's below the
You
clouds.
could fucking have it, so that's their goal. What's below the clouds when it comes to heaven?
Yeah.
Hell. It gets worse. You release a season where it's just drastically worse, and they want to get back.
Yeah. There's so many different things, though.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
so many things they could have
we,
done.
we've
So
set
many.
up so many
Why
different
play
plot
on the
things we
God
could have
thing if you're not going to introduce some religious aspects as plot? Like
could have
turn
even had the
mythos
you could
into
have-
reality.
You could have had the masks as like minions of hell who
Well, they made them
try and
angels.
stop a new god from being formed.
They called
Yeah.
them angels.
Yeah, and then they call their higher ones guardian angels.
But the angels are there to battle. Angels aren't nobodies.
Yeah,
They're God's army
Yeah.
that fight
They are, yeah.
fight evil. That's the point of them. And you know,
Except in
Lucifer
this
and
concept, they don't
Beelzebub.
care if a bad person becomes god.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Is that they're not there to dwindle out evil. They should have been like fucking watchers that at the moment someone does anything evil, angel steps in. Give people powers, but then have these almighty ones called angels that fucking step in when you show evil.
Or if
So
you-
then our evil guy has to be clever.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that he truly believes that he can save the world,
Yeah.
and control and bring forth world peace. And because in his head he truly believes what he is doing is good, they can't touch him.
Yeah, and then you can have an argument at the end between our two fucking protagonists, our bad guy and our good guy, explaining to God why they are right.
And he's like, the angels don't
Oh,
harm
could
me because they know I'm right.
Could you imagine a good writer writing an argument between two different points of view where one of them's a fucking ruler and one of them is for freedom?
And none of them.
They're just two sides of the same
Yeah.
coin.
Yeah.
A good writer doing that would be amazing. But instead we got this. Just flat ideas that they don't go anywhere. The
I wouldn't
plot
even say
doesn't
flat
develop.
ideas. I would just say it's like somebody setting off a firework in the office, and like everything's fucking flown everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're not
All
really
the
sure.
all the paper storylines got fucking flown in the air, and they put them together, but in the wrong orders.
Yeah.
That's why we get plot too early and things that come out of nowhere
And-
that we shouldn't know but do.
Very quick character development.
Very-
by the way,
oh my
'cause
God, too
Kwan, all it takes for her to change character is a 10-year-old turn around going, "You're a pussy,"
Yeah,
and she
pretty
goes,
much.
"He called me a pussy. I'm gonna fire a railgun and prove that I can do it."
I'll
That's
have
it.
you know I can fire a railgun.
Character development.
Yeah.
Kwan all of a sudden now is a hero because a 10-year-old's
And
told her,
the
"You know
strongest
you're
one.
a hero, right?" It's fucking
Arguably the
ridiculous.
strongest one
Ridiculous.
because she got called a pussy.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
it.
Yeah,
So
literally.
who's to blame for that then?
Netflix,
No, I'm thinking
No,
like
it's the
in
people who wrote
Yeah.
the story.
which
No,
is
because you've
Netflix
got-
team. Netflix can bring in animators. They would have to have sourced animators.
Oh, you can't blame animators.
And you can't blame animators for bad anime. You've got to blame the people that write the story.
It is the storyboard.
No, but there's different people that do different groups of that. Is it the storyboard creators
Yes.
who make all the ideas, or is the people that
Well,
make the
you say that.
storylines?
There are
No, I
everyone
think
that
I
makes
think
the storylines answers to the people that wrote the show.
Or is it also the script makers?
That's the way it is. But they answer to the people that wrote the show because the like the Duffer Brothers who write Stranger Things. Nothing happens in Stranger Things that doesn't go through those two brothers, and they have to unanimously agree. That's the way it works.
So
A
it's the producer
writer.
then.
the only thing they got right is the bare bones of the show.
Yeah,
The very
So
bare bones.
what
of
you're
it.
saying is it's the director. The guy that
No,
gives you the
the-
creative vision to go in that way and that way,
The
because he has
director-
the overall say on what it looks like.
But-
You
A
can always,
director
you can
doesn't
always
write
blame
a
the
show.
last person, but at the end of the day, the directors have to direct the story that's in
Yeah,
front of them.
he's been given a storyboard with certain angles and images that the writers want. And he has to visionarily do that with his team. It's not the director's fault. The director directs actors to act and scenes to happen. The problem isn't the animation. That
Yeah,
would be the
no,
director's fault.
he gets
The
to
animation was
choose-
just bad angles and everything else, and everything looked shit. That's the director.
See, I thought the director, his whole point was that he would be the person that gets to choose scenes that go
No.
out,
No.
in and out.
No,
Who's
he
the
not-
person that
he
does
doesn't
that?
have that say.
That's the storyboarding
It's
team
the
and the writers.
storyboard.
That's
It's
the
the people
before
who develop
anybody
it.
touches a camera, there are sheets of paper with storyboards on them that get sent out to directors saying these are the angles we want. This is what you've got. These are parameters you've got to work within. We want you to start here and move to here. And they've got, and that's why you get multiple directors on shows a lot of the time, especially TV shows, because they will take a local director to there rather than taking one director and flying them all over the world for different scenes. It's storyboarding. It's the writers. They
the writers
started
of the
out
show.
with a really good idea, and the more they wanted to make it clever and feasible as a full-fledged, thought-out show with thick plot and everything that you want in it, they got lost somewhere along that way.
They were overly creative creators.
Yeah,
They wanted everything.
They took on too much rather.
Yeah, they did.
Rather than fucking One Punch Man is a masterpiece for what it is. Why didn't they just do that?
That's what we said, though.
But I think
We
they
said
took-
they
Why
should have
didn't
just
they
hit
just do
plot
that?
points along the way and not overcomplicate.
That's
But
what
they
One,
took
Ma-
bits
that's
from
what One
every-
Punch Man does.
Yeah.
And they took bits from different shows, and we've seen them.
Yeah, they took
did.
they directly took characters from shows. They took fucking references. You can see angles. Certain fucking the Angels. Some of them are just fucking superheroes from somewhere else.
Pink
or
haired girl.
Yeah.
Pink
Yeah.
haired girl we see in quite a
every
few different
fucking one. The schoolgirl protagonist. Fuck me. We've seen another schoolgirl try and get closer to God. It's done. Pack it in. And if you're gonna do it, parody it. One Punch Man got taken seriously despite the fact that it is a parody of anime.
Yes, yeah. He's right, yeah. So should we give this a rating? Out of 10.
Fucking 10. Fuck me.
I'm gonna struggle with this one though, because
I'm with you. I know. I'm gonna too. So, do you want me to go first?
so King's
to give
Game, I remember it got a 4.
King's Game get 4?
4 or a 3.
I think it fell a little bit below that, about 3.
We really need to write down our ratings.
We
should
will.
If only we had some walls that are
We should write it
complete chalk.
We literally could write the list out.
We
on the
literally
wall.
could.
Yeah.
But we won't.
But we won't.
I can look at it if you want. I will.
What
Yeah.
King's Game? Say a 4. Go ahead.
I think I'm going to go with a 3. Okay.
This is worse than King's Game, and because
It
the
is.
idea of the show is worse.
But I hated this less than Death Note, the live action.
Oh yeah, definitely.
100%, yeah.
Jesus Christ, I don't think anything's gonna get that low.
No, but that was like The Room. It was cringe bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even cringe bad. Like cringe bad, you can have a laugh at. It's our job to make fucking these shows funny.
Yeah.
And you could have had a laugh at something that was so bad that it's good. You know,
Shall we-
little
shall
Pet
we-
Shop of Horrors kind of deal.
Shall we let the audience in on the fact that it's taken us 2.5 weeks to do this episode?
Yeah,
Because
fucking hell.
I feel like
Putting
we've
it
been
off, putting it
actively
off.
ignoring this anime.
What did you give it? A 3?
I've given it a 3.
I'll go with you. 3. No, 2.5. 2.5.
Oh,
Two and
yeah,
a
but
half.
now I'm thinking
2.5.
2.5.
No, 2.5. I was only getting 2 points because of the initial idea with rooftops, and I like the religious aspect of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to go with a 2.5, mainly because I like the cravat guy. That's it. I like our sniper mask. That's it.
My half a point is purely for Sniper Mask.
There
Yeah.
we go. See?
I would go in with a 3 myself. Yeah, the sniper mask and the bare bones of it are good aspects, and I think there's a lot to work with had they have done it correctly. So for that, I'll give it a 3 because the bare bones were okay.
Bare Bones don't get a show renewed.
They don't, unfortunately.
And that's why it probably hasn't been, has it?
It won't. No,
No.
it hasn't been, and it won't.
So High Rise Invasion gets a Summoning Boys 2.6 out of 10. And on that
There you
note,
go.
it's time for us to chuff off. All you summoners can join us next time, where we have once again another chat.
We need to
about
come up with a better plan.
gripes and problems and miniature anime games.
Join us next week for How Not to Chat on a Podcast. There we go.
If you've got any questions or queries or just want to see what we're up to, you can find us
Guys,
on
we don't know how to chat
Instagram,
We don't.
on a audio format.
Instagram, Twitter,
An
and
hour of
Facebook
silence.
at How Not to Summon, or join our Discord at How Not to Summon a Podcast, or go to our website where you can find all our links at hownotosummon.com. I've been Sheeny Senpai.
I've been Jim.
I've been Grayson.
See you later.
See ya.
Ta-ra.
Gonna 悲しみの涙をたたえた夢の中でこんなくだらない世界でしかないならいらないさあいつらにくれてやればいいよ持て余してる燃え盛る心永遠の夜明けに向かってゆく痛みと